Morning, evening, afternoon. Right, so just job overview of job we did in Weymouth, Dorset recently. We was called in by a local builder to the area to resolve a few issues. We went and looked at the job, and yeah, but basically the weather played a massive factor in this one. We've had a month's worth of rain in the last day, and the weather was no better around the time we was doing this job. So the first problem we had was the builder had dug out an extension you can see in the background here, and you had to dig out. You had to dig up through the land basically. There was quite a lot of material that come out, and they put it in a dumper and they just dumped it down through the garden. What they didn't do is they didn't take the topsoil from underneath. They just tipped the clay straight on top. When they did this, there was obviously a period of time when they did this before they called us in, and it was saturated. You can see it here. It's just real sticky, claggy, horrible clay. So we had to pick it all up, put it to the sides, strip off all the topsoil, stack that on the sides, move it over, do it half at a time. It took us, in total, we still got to go back. In total, it's probably going to take 5 days really to fix that issue. But we got it all moved and it's all sort of there. So as you can see here, this is different view, different headcam view. We're trying different things. They tipped a load of dumper loads up here as well. Now on the left hand side of this house is like a 50-foot drop. So sitting up there with a machine in the rain, wet on sticky, horrible, slippery clay. That was not no fun. So we're stripping it down here. The customer wanted it as like a waved kind of shape coming down through the garden as we're reducing down through. So we're just stripping it down. We've got to go back and do all the topsoil in. It was just too wet to be able to do anything. All the topsoil's down the bottom of the site. We couldn't get a dumper on because it would just sink up those axles. So just literally clearing down. We're just about to reduce dig this area, which is why we've got to get this top area sorted out and somewhere near it before we go too far. We had to transfer all the material down like this. So as you can imagine, there was thousands and thousands of bucketfuls coming down through. There's just another video here of us stripping the clay down and just trying to stack it. We tried stacking it as high as we can. It was so wet we couldn't get on it, so we couldn't seal it. So yeah, it's just a pain, real pain. So here we are, reduced digging. So this is going to be a patio area. Here you can see the extension. The extension is actually going to be like a home gym. It's very, very nice home gym. It's very big. So we're basically reduced digging this now, taking it down to the depth we need it to, so they can lay some nice slabs in, everything like that. And it just goes down the length of the building. This material, when it was coming out, was nice. We literally made a road with this material, or like a pathway for the machine to go up and down in. And when we tracked it in, it sealed. The moisture didn't get into it. It stayed nice and firm, and it's what should have really happened to the original material that got dug out. It should have been sealed straight away as soon as it was laid. But yeah, as you can see, yeah, we just go down through and reduce dig this area. And again, we've got to walk all this material down the site. So yeah, it's a lot of work. That's a 6-ton machine that we're using there, because that was the biggest machine we could actually get into the site. And yeah, it didn't stop. We went like the clappers. So as you can see here, you can see the different layers of material we've got. Some of it was really nice. It come out sort of like a stony kind of clay material. It's quite good. A lot of it, the bottom layer here was it's quite compacted sort of clay material. That's stuff that as soon as it gets wet, it just goes all slippery. We was asked to come in here and put steps in, which you'll see in the next clip. So we had to dig them in. Again, we've got to drop down one side. You know, this is probably a good 1.5 meters, best part of 2 meters. So it's a little bit sketchy. We just got to be very careful what we do. Every move counts. And again, we dig it out, stick it to the side. We have to walk it down through the site. The land was relatively crumbly here, so it wasn't. I mean, it's shaped up not too bad. This doesn't really give it much credit, but when you see towards the end, there's some still images that I've taken, which I've put up, just showing you how sort of far we got with the job. So this is going to have gabion baskets sat on it, and it's going to step up the wall, and then at the top where the machine is, that's just going to be a grassed area, and then the grass is just going to flow straight down through the garden. We've still got a little bit more digging to do down the bottom here, which you'll see in the next clip. And as you can see, puddles everywhere. It didn't stop raining. The first day was nice. You can see in the first video, sun was out. It was beautiful, absolutely stunning views. But then it just rained ever since then. So here we are, just reduced digging like the corner section. As you can see now, we've got the steps in, and we've got everything landscaped as best we can. Obviously, without topsoil on it, we need to go in when the weather's drier and sort that out. But yeah, that's somewhere near where we needed it. Customer was happy. The steps are in. He was happy with them as well. And yeah, it's just literally reduced digging this corner now, and then just pulling the steps in and around, just to tidy it up, just give it that final sort of movement. We've got to come back and do some drainage, pull some drains in all down through the side of this building. Possibly got this soak away as well. There was talk of going back and doing the soak away, but we did tell the customer, you know, we pulled from the job due to the weather. We couldn't do no more. It was just making a mess. The machine was just going to get stuck. So there's a possibility they may have gone and got someone else to go and do it, who was happy to put a machine in there, but at that time it was just too much, too wet. So this is the front of the building now. This is looking out. So this is basically a kind of view they're going to have down the garden. So we've reduced digging this. Just behind the machine is Chesil Beach, Portland, the sea and everything that you can see. It's absolutely stunning. But yeah, and this tree to our left here, this is a protected tree, so we've got to go very careful around this. We can't dig up any roots or anything like that. Yeah, it's quite a relatively tight and twisty job in places. But as you can see, this material is coming out here. This is nice. If it was all freshly dug, we wouldn't have really had any problems, because we would have just sealed it up and it would have been lovely. Nice sort of stony clay material. But unfortunately, you know, we can't control the weather. So again, there's a lot of material. We've got to shape the whole garden. The garden was quite steep, and we're going to have to take a lot of that depth, you know, backfill down the bottom. We're going to have to compact it in and get it right, which is going to be a pain. Here's a better picture of what we was just doing. You can see there where we've sort of pulled the walls in and we've reduced dug, so that when they look out the windows, they've got a clean view down through the garden. Obviously the clay at the bottom there is something else I'm going to sort. This is just shaping around the tree now, making sure that we don't get too close to it, do any damage to the roots or structure or anything like that. Just putting the topsoil around and just tidying it up and just shaping that corner, just getting it nice. And this is you know, this is towards the end of the job now. As you can see, the winds, the rain, everything's filled up with mud and water and puddles, and yeah, it's just, the weather was really not on our side. But they needed it doing. When we went and looked at the job, we did say, you know, do you need this doing ASAP, or can it wait till the summer? Because ideal preference would be wait for the summer, let it all dry out, we can go in a clean slate, and get it all sorted for them. But they needed to do an ASAP, so we've got it to a stage now. They wanted to put scaffold up around the building, so that's, you know, it's all reduced dug, it's all around there. They can all get in there and do what they need to do. It's wet, but unfortunately that's what happens when you start building in the winter time. So here now, I mean, this is all nice and solid the day before, and it's rained that much, it's just saturated everything again. So basically all I want to do here is I'm just leveling this off as best I possibly can, and I want to put a little channel in. As you can see there, slightly doing it where the water runs, and it hopefully runs down through the garden. It doesn't build up and sit in this position here, because obviously we're not going to be back for a while, so it could potentially, you know, flood. But you know, we don't want to. We want to try and get the water and get rid of it as best we can. We don't want the water just being sat in one place. So this is basically what we're trying to do here, and then it's just a case of smoothing up and you know, as we come out, tighten up. Yeah, so there you go. So there's some pictures of what it looked like, and it's yeah, it turned out all right considering the weather. Customer's really happy. We're happy with it. Shaping it all in. Obviously, you know, there's more work to do there. There's a lot of topsoil that needs to be spread around and you know, we'll put in properly. But yeah, we was happy with that. Customer is happy. Hopefully they'll get us back to finish the job off when the weather's a little bit better. Fingers crossed. Please like, subscribe, comment. If you got any views or opinions, you know, drop them in the comments box. It'd be good to hear them. Cheers for watching, guys, and see you on the next one.